Chapter 1. The Cave. It was not so much that he awoke, for there was no clear waking in such a place, no boundary between death and sleep, no obvious distinction between the end of one breath and the beginning of another. Rather, it was that some faint awareness, some flicker of being not quite extinguished, began to rise again within him, like the slow seeping warmth of fire in embers buried beneath ash, almost forgotten yet never entirely gone. He had been here for days, or perhaps for weeks, though the measure of time had long since ceased to apply. The cave in which he lay, if it could be called a cave, though it might just as easily be a hollow in the bones of the world itself, was carved from ice and stone and silence, and it held him not as a prison holds a man, but as a womb holds a child, or as a grave holds a secret. And in that place there was no speech, no memory, no time, only cold. And yet the cold, though vast and swallowing, was not absolute, for there was a second presence in that place, a creature smaller than him, though no less ancient, who moved with such quiet and self-possession that it was hard to say when she had come, or if she had ever left. The cat, gray-black, mottled with ash, with eyes like old coins left in riverbeds, whose breath was warm, whose patience was endless, and who watched him with a stillness more sacred than any guardian angel painted in the old apse of some forgotten chapel. She did not mewl or stir unnecessarily, but moved like a thought half-formed, like an idea on the edge of consciousness. And when she pressed her body to his, curling into the shape of his own hollowed chest, there was a faint rise in temperature, so faint it might have been imagined, and yet the pulse beneath his skin responded to it, faltering at first, like a child's first steps into the wind, but growing incrementally stronger with each passing hour, or day, or aeon, depending on what clock one trusted. Once she left him, disappearing into the dark of the deeper stone, and it seemed for a moment that he might never feel her again, that perhaps she had been a dream conjured in the fever of dying. But then she returned, dragging something in her jaws. Not large, not much, but warm and freshly dead, and she laid it before him as if to say, "There is still life here, and where there is life, there is you," though he did not move to take it, nor speak, nor open his eyes, for he was still becoming. In the upper world, snow continued to fall, and winds howled across the mountains like the voices of the lost or the damned, but the cave was deep, and the sound only touched its outermost walls, like fingertips brushing the back of a sleeping god. And within it, within the hush and the cold and the breath of a cat who would not leave him, Nicholas was turning, slowly, infinitesimally, back toward life. And when, one night, if night it could be called, he made a sound, not a word, but a fragment, perhaps a syllable, or the echo of a name not yet remembered, the cat turned her ears toward him, without rising, without blinking, as though she had been listening for it all along, as though this single sound, broken and breathless, had been the only liturgy that mattered in the whole damn world. She stayed beside him as he slept, not quite a guardian, not quite a companion, but something stranger and older than both. An emblem, maybe, or a sign. And when she closed her eyes and the hum of her purring filled the air, low and ceaseless like the sound of a world being born under water, the cave itself seemed to breathe, to swell with some hope not yet named. He did not rise. He did not wake. But somewhere in the vast quiet of his inner sky, a star ignited, and the dark did not win that night.